My name is Kudakwashemanga, and I'm going to do a demonstration of network forensics using a tool called Xplico. So to get us started, I'm using a virtual machine running an instance of Ubuntu, and inside that Ubuntu I've got the Xplico application installed. So the first thing is to confirm that the Xplico service is actually running. So we call Xplico, and indeed our service is running. Another important thing is to confirm the IP address of this virtual machine, which is the IP address we use to access the instance of Xplico from our web browser. So our IP is 192.168.56.101. So that's the IP that will open in our web browser with the default port of 9876. So it will take us to the Xplico login page. We use the default credentials Xplico, then login. Then once we are logged in, the first thing we need to do is to create a case. So go new case. There are two options that we can use. We can either do a PK file, which is a network capture file that we can generate from tools such as Wireshark or similar, or we can do a live traffic acquisition. So for the sake of this demonstration, we'll go with a PK file. So we give our case a name. So go generic and do case 1, then create. Then we access our case. Then we also need to create a session within that case. Still going generic, we do session 1, then we create. Then we go into that particular session now. So now this is the default page for our session. So all these are the protocols that our tool can support: HTTP, MMS, email, HTTP traffic. So all these protocols, if our network capture has got any of these protocols, it will be able to decode them, and then we can be able to analyze them. So we browse for our pcap file. So we navigate, select our pcap file. So this is our file name. We confirm it, then we upload. Then our Xplico will try to upload that file. So here, file has been uploaded. Now it's decoding. So as we speak, all the metrics are on 0 because there was nothing yet. So once the decoding is finished, we'll see all these metrics change in value, signifying the contents of the decoded file respectively. So let's give it a bit more time to finish decoding, then we can see those metrics going up. All right, decoding completed. So as I was saying earlier on, HTTP traffic, we see post request, get request, MMS, 2 emails, HTTP, FTP connections, all those information are there. Then we can actually filter to do granular analysis by host. So the host is the host IP address. If we want to go for a specific host and analyze that particular host, we select it from here, then we go filter. But in this case, we're just going global with everything that we have. So now we can go to graphs, then we can do DNS first. So on DNS, we get the date, then the host that was being requested for resolution, the canonical name, then the IP address that was resolved. If we go to info.xml, we get more granular information for that particular request. So it was UDP. So the source port for the requesting node was 41.350, and the source IP address of 10.0.2.15. The destination IP address, so this is the DNS resolve IP 194.179.1.100 with a destination port of 53, since this is a DNS query. In IP protocol 17, this signifies the UDP protocol that was used. So it gives us more granular information. We can also make use of the search function that we can streamline and select only this particular host. We can then paste it here. When you say go, then it just filters to this particular host in our results. So everything else is discarded. Then we can move to address resolution protocol. So it gives us the MAC address and the corresponding IP address that was resolved in the app request. So this particular MAC address resolved to this IP address. Then we can do the same thing, streamline the MAC address by going to search. Then we can go filter. So this will show us all the IP addresses that has been assigned to this MAC address for a given period of time, because these can change over time. Then ICMP-v6, there's nothing there. Then another interesting feature is GeoMap. Then we can use this, we can download the KML file. So what GeoMap does, it gives us a graphical representation of the originating points for those requests. So we can use it with Google Maps, or we can use it with online KML viewers. When we load that PCAP file, it then gives us a representation of where those requests originated on the global map. Then we can go to web, then site. It gives us all the URL that were requested, the size of the request, the method that was used, whether it was get or post, and in this case, these were get messages. More granular information, we can go to XML. Then user agent, we see that it was using Mozilla Firefox version 3.5, running on Ubuntu. Then the host, this is the URL that was being requested, content, which was HTML, then source and destination ports. Source port of the requesting device was 37763, and the same source IP 10.02.15 going to this destination 8252.91.41 at a destination of 80, since it was HTTP traffic. Then IP protocol 6, because it was HTTP as well. So we get all that granular information. If there are any images, we can also filter to images. Flash, if there are any flash content. Videos, if there are any videos, we can see them. Audio, JSON, and so on. So if we go to images, we can see all the images that were transmitted during the time of the capture. So we can actually view the images. If we go to image, then a pop-up showing that actual image will show. Then we can also go to email, then emails, then it shows us the emails that were transmitted during that capture period. And in this case, there were 2 emails. So we can let's go with this one for the sake of this demonstration. This was the sending email. This was the receiving email, date and time. Then the subject of the email, testing Yahoo Pop 3. Then we can actually view the email by going to the email file, which we can download, and it can be opened using any default email application that we have. So this is the email. This is the contents of the actual contents of the email. Then this is the attachment, which is an image of this person. So this is the actual email that was sent. So webmail is more or less the same. The only difference being that this is through a webmail and not the email application. So we can continue with all the other protocols, VoIP, share, chat. If all these are included or have been transmitted during the time of the capture, they will be shown here. Then the last section is undecoded. So this one is interesting because this shows the information that was not decoded because it was encrypted. So Xplico cannot decrypt or decode encrypted communications. So that's the importance of encryption. So in this instance, this for instance, this one, it was encrypted using SSL, so we cannot gather any more information other than this, the destination and the port, which 443 SSL protocol, and the size. Other than that, there's no more granular information that we can get from this information. So that's the benefit of encryption. So that's all I had to demonstrate using Xplico. Thank you.